So it is that time again, y'all. It is time for a garden tour. Today is May the 11th, and this is going to be our May garden tour. Lemongrass, and it's looking all right. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do when it comes to like fertilizing this, so I do need to do a little bit more research on this lemongrass because I feel like it's not doing what it can do. And the soil looks dry, but it's just like that on the surface. It actually is quite nice. Tomatoes are looking good. Things are really like going wild in the garden right now. This is just that time. These tomatoes, these are my sun gold tomatoes, and we had just recently got a lot of rain. So and we got evening rain, so that really kind of affected these pretty much immediately. I mean, like we got like 3 days of rain in a row, and that really affected my tomato plants. This tomato plant very much, as you can see, a lot of this dying off of the leaves and stuff like that, so it's getting some kind of wilt or bacteria, but for the most part it's still looking good. And I haven't gotten any fruit off of this yet. This is my very first ripe one, so I'm kind of excited about that because I hear a lot of good reviews on sun gold tomatoes and how sweet they are. This is our Berry's Crazy Cherry Tomato, and I am in love with these. Look how clustered these are. I mean, I've heard about them, I've seen them on other channels where people grow them, but I am like obsessed with this tomato. Ooh, it's got a little worm friend over there on there. I'll have to come out here. I normally don't like to spray a lot of stuff on my plants. I normally don't spray anything at all, but I may have to come out here with a little bit of BT. I do see worms on my tomato plant, and the only reason that I spray BT, that's the only thing I ever use in my garden. The only reason I spray BT is because I cannot pick worms off. I am scared. Like, I am afraid of worms, and that's just one of those things that I have to work on as a gardener because I know that I'm going to encounter worms, and that's just one of them things. Like, I'm scared of worms. I am not going to be able to pick this worm off. I can see a caterpillar on here, and BT is just gonna have to suffice. I can see a little bit of damage on the plant. It doesn't look like a hornworm damage, and it doesn't look like an actual hornworm. I don't know what kind of caterpillar this is, but it's just one that I see, but I can see like evidence that there are more than just this one on this plant. So I am going to spray BT on this plant. Here is my melon plant. This is a sugar baby watermelon. And there's a little tiny watermelon right there trying to grow. I'm noticing a little bit of damage on this plant from what I assume is caterpillar damage. I could see caterpillar poop on there. So I am definitely gonna get out here with some BT today. Here's yarrow. Here's my angelonia flowers. These have definitely filled out this pot to the max. So I pulled up the beans, the purple potted bush beans that I had out here. I pulled all those out of there, and now we have some black eyed peas in here because it is summer and they love our summers here. I have some already going, and this is just basically like succession sowing. So I put more in this entire pool so that I could get a good harvest of black eyed peas. Here's a little watermelon plant. This is an heirloom yellow watermelon, and it's called Petite yellow, and it's a small fruit, but and I've never had it before, so I'm a little bit excited about this. I did take the Kajari melon plant that I planted in here a while ago out of here because really that just wasn't where I wanted a Kajari melon. The sweet potatoes have definitely stolen the show. You guys, look at this thing. This is a massive cluster of sweet potatoes in this thing. And they are growing all over the place. Look, over here. They're coming, they're like cascading out, and they're just kind of going in between pots. There's some marigolds that volunteered down there that I'm just letting continue to grow because look how beautiful those flowers look. It's funny because when I grow these on purpose, they don't look nearly that beautiful. Those are absolutely gorgeous marigolds, and I'm just leaving them in there. letting them do their thing. And as you see, these sweet potatoes are cascading all out of this thing. And I don't know what to do. I guess I could put some kind of trellising in here and just let them kind of grow up that, but I'm just letting them go wild. I knew they would do that. I knew they would do that in a way. I didn't know how far or how much would come out of this bed, but I knew they would cascade a little bit. So I don't have a problem with that. The okra, y'all, it is waist high to me right now, maybe about stomach high. And it is looking gorgeous. Let me back up a little bit. Look at this okra. Look how beautiful that looks in there. Now, I definitely put a lot of plants in this, but this is what I wanted. I wanted it all to look clustered like this. I wanted it to look beautiful. I wanted it to all just kind of come up all at once. There's different varieties of okra in here. There are, this is Clemson spireless here right at the sides. There's some Ying orange here. This is Ying orange. Back here, the tallest ones, these are the red burgundy. And as you can see, I definitely need to harvest some of this. This is about as big as I allow them to get, especially certain varieties, because some of them could be more woody the bigger they get than others. Okay. Over here is our butter bush. And as you guys can see, I have a little squash in here. I only have one, but that's okay. I'm happy with one. And I have some volunteer ground cherries in here. There was just leftover ground cherries after I pulled the ground cherry plant out. These are the Black Beauty eggplants. And I have 2 of them in this little thing. So these are doing beautifully. My raspberry plant is just growing and growing and growing and growing, y'all. It's getting up there. My raspberry cane. And again, for those of you who don't know, I grow these particularly for the leaves because of red raspberry leaf. It's very good for the uterus. The pepper pool is coming along. Look how beautiful this looks, y'all. So these are my shishito peppers, and they are just, I mean, they are so prolific. Look at this plant. Look at these peppers, y'all. This is so beautiful. I love these peppers so much. This is my favorite pepper. And then I discovered, not today, but I discovered that these peppers are like playing Russian roulette. Some of them could be hot. And I don't mean like just a little spicy. They're kind of hot. For my taste anyway, because I'm not a big fan of terribly hot things. But some of these could be hot. So it's kind of fun to pick the peppers out of the yard, out of here, and don't know if you're going to get a hot one or not. It's like Russian roulette with peppers. I got a habanada here. I have berries, the Craig's Grande in here. I have more shishito peppers in here. And that's pretty much what consists of my pepper pool. The mullein here, this is getting very wild and beautiful. I haven't been harvesting it because I have so much already, but I need to give some to certain people that have been asking about it. The cucumber melons seem to be coming back. They died down a little bit, but they seem to be kind of trying to come back. So I'm just gonna leave them in here. I almost pulled these out of here, but I'm gonna let them do what they do because they look like they're trying to come back. And of course, my moringa has gotten very, very wild. Look how wild it's getting, you guys. I am gonna harvest some of this. And for those of you, because I've been getting questions about why would I put a tree so close to my house, these are dwarf moringas. They said that these plants could be put in pots. You can grow them from a pot, and they're a lot smaller than regular moringa trees, and so on and so forth. These are not very dwarfy. I mean, I guess a regular moringa tree does get bigger than this. However, I didn't expect these to get this big, but they're beautiful. Tabasco peppers, they're starting to turn colors. I'm trying to grow these because I want to try to make my own hot sauce. We'll see how that goes. My lemon balm's coming back. I cut this way down, but it's starting to come back and it's looking beautiful right now. I'm gonna harvest this early. Like, I'm gonna let it kind of grow out a little bit and then I'll harvest a bunch of it. Here are the black-eyed peas that I planted, you guys. They're doing great over here. They love it over here. I guess I know the kind of things that I can grow in this bed here now, because black-eyed peas like the summer, they like the heat, and this bed gets pretty hot. So they're doing pretty well. I mean, they're flowering. Look at this. There's a flower there. They're starting to flower, and fruit. I'm sure there's some bean pods starting here soon, and we'll be getting us some black-eyed peas in a couple months, y'all. Over here, I have another eggplant, and as you can see, this eggplant is not doing as good as the other eggplants are on the other side of my garden. That, I believe, is because there's a lot going on in this pot. As you can see over here, that is a potato plant. And I might have potatoes growing underneath this. So the eggplants might not be getting the nutrients that they need, because if there are potatoes under here, they are probably sucking all the nutrients up out of this soil. So I'm leaving that potato plant just because I just want to see what happens. I'm going to leave the eggplant there too, because if it decides it wants to start growing, it might start growing, but I'm just going to leave them there. We're going to see what happens. I love to see what happens. The green stalk is looking good. I am still getting strawberries. I'm still getting strawberries, even though I am, it's not season for strawberries. Here's another pepper. I'm going to have to look up what these are called. I never can think off the top of my head what things are called, but I don't label them either, which is kind of rough on my part that I don't label them. That's my own fault, but that's just something that I do. I just try to remember what I have. But these peppers are something I got from Baker Creek, and I have a random kale plant. Nasturtiums are still going, y'all, even though technically they should probably be pulled out of here. They're getting brown. I'm harvesting a lot of the seeds out of here, so that's why I'm just kind of letting it go. But it is still flowering, so it's beautiful. I'm leaving it. And again, more strawberry plants in here. I cut the strawberries down a lot in a lot of these areas in this green stalk, and they're just coming back. Oh, look, we have a melon. This is midget melons, you guys. And again, I can see some damage on these plants, and which indicates to me that there are some worms here. As you can see here, look, there's definitely worm damage. So definitely gonna be tea. Definitely gonna be tea. I wish I was brave enough to just kind of go through these and pick the worms off, but I think with looking at the damage that I see, there's too many worms and I'm too scared. So this is another project to come. I'm just expanding my front garden here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put more of these round beds out here. I'm gonna put more of these round beds out here, and I'm gonna put one up against this trellis because I'm not having very good success growing anything in ground down here. Even though I've amended this and everything, I don't know why I'm not having success, but I'm just gonna get a bed and I'm gonna put it in front of this, and I'm just gonna grow out of that bed. That way I can get my trellis looking beautiful out here with some fruit and things hanging from it. Here is the zinnia bed, and the zinnias are starting to flower, you guys. If you can see that, the zinnias are starting to flower, and they're going to be so beautiful. There's a lot of weeds in here, and that's very weird because this bed was just completely bare and empty, and I put in some compost and everything before I put these zinnia, just sprinkle it with a bunch of zinnia seeds, and the weeds just started popping up. Here is the wild garden, you guys. And you know, I have the back garden going. I have nothing in the ground yet other than well, I guess I can go ahead and show y'all what I got going on in the back. So I haven't been back here in a couple days just because Mother's Day, all this, I had so much going on, you guys. I really did. And I haven't been able to get around to getting my beds filled up, but this week is definitely the week. I had work and everything else, so this week is definitely the week that I'm going to get these raised beds all filled, get stuff planted. And yeah, so all I have out here so far is just some sunflowers coming up here. There's sunflowers and there's a ton of weeds in here, so I don't know what's what. Some of this stuff is zinnias, which is kind of funny because I have a ton of zinnias coming up out of nowhere, but I think that's because I had zinnias planted in my old raised beds and I used a lot of this soil from that. So yeah, I have sunflowers out here, and in these spots that my dog dug up, I just left them as is because I want to get back out here and replant in these spots. I'm not going to plant watermelons this time. This time I'm going to do my Seminole pumpkins out here, and I'm just going to let those just kind of go. I won't add blood meal. I won't add blood meal this time because I don't want my dog to dig them all up. So let's go over here and see. Look, I have sweet potatoes growing. Look at this. What the heck? I got all kinds of things out here. That is a sweet potato plant, y'all. That is a sweet potato. Most of this is weeds. Here's a zinnia. I've got corn coming up out here. Y'all, what the heck? So I'm thinking I might just leave the food out here, y'all. There's corn growing. There's I have zinnias. I got a sweet potato plant growing out here. This is stuff that's just kind of volunteered on its own. So we'll definitely have a bunch of flowers like zinnias and stuff that's out here. There is a ton of weeds though, so I might have to come out here and pick up some of these weeds or put down like some weed block or fabric or something just to kind of combat a lot of those weeds from coming back into my in-ground garden. I'm going to put my Seminole pumpkins out here, and I'm going to let my sunflowers come up, and then we'll have my Seminole pumpkins, and then we're going to get these beds filled up. That's what I'm going to do this week. So stay tuned, you guys, because I will keep you guys updated. I will keep you guys Bigfoot.
Yes, there's a Bigfoot and the aliens.
What?
Right there. They disappeared.
Oh, they disappeared? Oh my gosh. Let's hurry up inside then. Hurry up. Hurry up. Run. Y'all, my baby is so funny. So anyway, we are going inside. It is hot. Thank y'all so much for watching. And until next time, that's it.